Welcome to MyProgress Mentor Training. MyProgress is an electronic system for recording student practice assessments. All the assessments are completed using the student's login and username via the student portal. Students are sent the assessments before the placement commences, and they're all available to view at any point. Once you've had a student using the electronic assessment, you will be created a mentor account. You have a login to your mentor portal. From here you can review the assessments you've completed for your students. This is just for you to keep a record of the students you've supported for evidence for your triennial review. The students are all given tablets on which they can access MyProgress, but the easiest way to use the system is via the web interface. To go to the website for MyProgress and access all the information there, Google MyProgress Anglia Ruskin. This will take you to a page similar to this, where you can find all the information you require. Most importantly, initially there is an online training course you can take. Clicking on the tile for MyProgress training course will take you to the page where you can access the information about the training course and how to create a training account. This course can be repeated as many times as you'd like and takes about an hour. You receive a certificate at the end, which can be used for evidence for triennial or for revalidation. The other useful element on the website is the Contact Us button. Clicking on that will take you to an electronic database. It's a searchable database where you can enter information in the box at the top and search for solutions to your problems or scroll through the solutions already offered. If you cannot find the answer to your question, you can create a support ticket by clicking the plus button, which will open a new page which allows you to submit the ticket. Enter the information and the MyProgress team will get back to you as soon as possible. The main thing you are going to require, however, when using MyProgress is to complete assessments for your students. If you are supporting a nursing associate, you click on the tab which says Nursing Associate Access. If you are supporting any of the other nursing students using MyProgress at Anglia Ruskin, click on the Access to MyProgress tab. This takes you through to another window where you can log in. It's important to remember that the information held in MyProgress belongs to the student, and in the same way as the student will give you their booklet to complete, you use the student's username and the student's password to complete any assessments on the system. Entering the student's username and password will take you through to the student portal. From here you can navigate to all the areas you need. You may have a picture of your student in the top left-hand corner, or you may just have a smiley face, but next to the box will be the student's name. This is a training account, so there are more assessments than you would normally expect to see on a student account. But you can see underneath the picture there is a list of different areas you can go to within the portal. The assessments is going to be the place you're going to want to go to first, so if we go there first, you can see clicking on assessments will take you to a page with all the assessments the student has to complete. There is a Respond Now button to click to start the assessment. When you're in the assessments, there's a control bar at the bottom from which you can navigate around the assessment and also choose to save it as a draft. The assessment is an exact replication of what was written in the paper document. If you would like to review what is in the paper documents, all of the documents are available as PDFs at the Anglia Ruskin Mentor portal. We don't ask you to change the way you support your students, only the way you document that. There are a couple of things important to remember about MyProgress assessments. Once you have clicked Finish and submitted an assessment, that assessment is locked and can no longer be edited. This means that there are some documents you will have to save as a draft as you go along. Anything which may need to be changed or updated as a student progresses, such as, for example, the action plan, may be saved as a draft until it is completed and then submitted. When you are ready to submit a document, you press the red button for Finish. Pressing the Finish button will trigger a new window to open, from where you have a variety of options. You get again the chance to save the assessment as a draft, and you also get a chance on the green button to complete the assessment and share it with tutors and with the student. Completed assessments move to the Students' Completed Assessments folder and are visible to more people. If this box is grey and not green, it usually means that you've forgotten to tick a box somewhere. Just click the Resume the Assessment button and go back and finish, or save it as a draft to finish it later. A word of caution: never press the Abandon this completed assessment button. Pressing this triggers a loss of all of the information in the assessment. This includes previous drafts. So if you click Abandon this completed assessment, you will end up with a completely blank form and have to start again. There is a new feature on the recent update to MyProgress. You will see the blue box which says email this assessment to your observer to complete later. This allows you to complete an assessment at a later point for the student when the student is not with you. A word of caution: it is essential that the correct email address is used. You are in essence emailing the draft version of the document. If you email it to an address which is not current or is not yours or is not accessible to you, you will not be able to complete the assessment and will have to start again from scratch. The assessment will be lost and is unrecoverable. The other thing that you may wish to do while in the student portal is review how far your student has got with their assessments and how many you have to do. To do this, if you click the Progress and Reports tab at the bottom, you get the option to create a framework completion report. This, in essence, is a list of all the assessments the student has to do. If an assessment has a green tick next to it, they have done it, and clicking on it will take you directly to that completed assessments. In this way, you can also review assessments students have completed on previous placements and use those to help the student develop. A word about the assessments and deadlines. You will notice deadlines on some of the assessments. There are two types of deadline in MyProgress. A soft deadline is used to guide our mentors and students as to the preferred date of completion for the assessment. It's to guide best practice. Assessments such as the induction documents and the formative documents have soft deadlines like this. All that happens once the assessment date has passed is that the assessment name will go red and you will get a note to say that this assessment is late. The student is not penalised for late assessment at this point, it is purely to guide best practice. The hard deadline, however, is set on the summative assessments at the end. The date there is firm date, and if the date has passed and the student has not submitted the assessment, they will not pass the placement. They will need to request an extension if they require one, in exactly the same way as they would for Turnitin. If you have a problem on the ward on the day that you're going to complete the assessment with the student and you can't do it, the student just needs to tell the student advisor and they will get an extension on the assessment. If the student attempts to submit the assessment past the deadline, they will lose the assessment completely. The other element on this slide is the email notification. When you submit an assessment for a student, you will receive an email saying you've submitted an assessment and offer you the opportunity to review the assessment to ensure it is what you expect to see. This is a safety measure to ensure that students do not fraudulently enter our mentors' email addresses. The mentor account is created when you complete the submission of the mentor registration form. You'll get an email similar to this to your work email address telling you about the mentor account and how to access it. Again, remember the mentor account is only used for a repository for the evidence of the information you require for your triennial review. Your mentor account will look something like this. As you can see, there's very few options. The main thing you can do there is review the student's completed assessment.